Just the other month, I went to Big Bear to visit my family lake cabin. I hadn't been up in years. Growing up, I visit this lake cabin almost monthly. As we approached the end of the windy turn, I looked to my left to see the beautiful mountains and looked to my right to see the beautiful lake. Well, to my surprise, as I looked to the right to see a beautiful lake, it was empty and dried out. I asked myself why this was. There was only one answer for my question: global warming. Global warming is the increase in global temperatures over time. The world is only continuing to get warmer and warmer. According to the U.S. Global Change Research Program, U.S. temperatures have risen by over 2 degrees over the past 50 years. Yes, 2 degrees. Although 2 degrees may not sound like a whole lot, these 2 degrees are making a world of a change. Today, I'm going to caution you about the rising effects of global warming. In order to do so, I'll first talk about the issues associated with global warming, then I'll talk about the causes of global warming, and finally I'll talk about both some smaller scale and a larger scale solution to help put an end to global warming. First, let's talk about the problems. There are 2 main problems associated with global warming: extreme weather events and the dangers to the marine life and the sea levels rising. First, let's talk about extreme weather events. Extreme weather events consist of fires, droughts, heat waves, and floods. Well, according to Los Angeles Times, there are more and more heat waves than ever before due to global warming. These heat waves lead to fires. These fires are burning down the world around us. Now I'm going to talk about how global warming is affecting the marine life and the sea levels. According to the U.S. Target Fed News Service, global warming has led to more than 50% of all marine life deaths. Well, think about how many marine life species are going extinct. Would these animals be going extinct if it weren't for global warming? The answer is no. During an intergovernmental panel on climate change, it was proven that global sea levels have risen over 8 inches over the past 100 years. These 8 inches, again, like the 2 degrees, don't seem like they're making a big difference, but they are. These 8 inches are flooding areas such as Florida and the Gulf of Mexico. According to the Targeted Fed News Service, the ocean is holding up to 60% more heat than ever before. This heat is killing off things such as the coral. This creates a chain effect. When the coral dies, other animals and species in the ecosystem die. Now that I've talked about the problems associated with global warming, I'm going to move on to the causes. There are 2 main causes associated with global warming: pollution and deforestation. I'm going to start by talking about pollution. When these pollutants rise into the air, the atmosphere can only absorb so many of them. When they can't absorb anything else, all the heat from this pollution is reflected back onto the Earth's surface. These air pollutants and greenhouse gases are creating a major disruption in the Earth's temperatures. According to the National Geographic Society, there is more CO2 in the atmosphere than any point within the past 800,000 years. Clearly, the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere is only continuing to increase. Now let's talk about deforestation. When trees are cut down and burned, their stored carbon is released into the air. This stored carbon that is being released into the air is causing global warming. More and more trees are being cut down throughout the world. According to the U.S. Fed News Service, each person is responsible for putting over 10 tons of carbon dioxide into the air annually. 10 tons of CO2 is entering the air each year just because of you yourself. Now that I've talked about the causes of global warming, I'm going to talk about some solutions. According to the Los Angeles Times, the damage will continue to be done unless something is done about it. If we refuse to act, then we will be left with no tomorrows. I'm going to start by talking about some smaller scale solutions. These solutions are easy to do in your everyday lives. Carpool. Carpooling will reduce the amount of gas released into the air. Another thing to do is unplug your plugs. Take out your plugs when you're not using them. There are simple, small, everyday things that you can do yourself to help put an end to global warming. Don't use plastics that you can avoid. Things like that will help make a difference. Now I'm going to talk about a large-scale effect. Well, Hawaii was the first state to implement a plan to rely solely on clean energy by 2045. California is planning to be the second. This is a major step in helping to seize the spread of global warming. If more and more states and countries can get on board with this plan and try and implement a clean energy plan, we are going to make immense progress. Today, I covered the problems associated with global warming, the causes of global warming, and some solutions to help put an end to global warming. I cautioned you about the rising effects of global warming. Now, next time you see a beautiful body of water or one of your favorite places to go on vacation, think about this. Will that be here in another 50 years if we don't act now? Do your part to help put an end to global warming. Thank you.